Hello and welcome back to another episode of So My Wife's a Witch,
a Bewitched deep dive podcast.
Today we are covering episode 8 of season 1.
The Girl Reporter.
Incredible.
Thank
How are
you.
you today, Nathan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm for all of you watching now, it's probably about mid-February. For us, though, it's the very beginning of January, so we're coming off a New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Nathan.
So many wonderful things so many wonderful things have already happened, and it's just go up from here,
Yeah, we're going up.
We are.
We're on the up and up. I know. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Last year was a really good year for me. I mean, this project was a long time coming and one in the making, and one I'm very proud of. I had a year in review party with friends. We watched Mamma Mia and did a PowerPoint of our photos throughout the year, and this was featured on my PowerPoint.
Both of them, right?
1 and 2. Here we go again. I was really, really, really campaigning for Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again.
Oh, okay, good.
But
I was about to say, this podcast is over if you did not like the second movie.
I like the second
Okay,
movie. I really like it. I like that they include Waterloo.
Yeah.
And I like all of the younger versions. I think the younger version of Colin Firth's character is really perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I especially like and waited the entire movie to see?
What?
When Cher walks down the staircase.
I
was like, I was promised Cher. Where is she?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, at the 10 minutes left, she walks down the CGI stairs. Yeah, singing to Andy Garcia.
Yes. She looks so good in that movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she sounds amazing.
Well, of course.
It's so good.
Then subsequent Dancing Queen album followed the movie's release.
Yes. And we all said, thank you, Cher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sounds like you're having a good start to your new year.
I am. I'm feeling very reflective and grateful and hopeful for the next year. I didn't know that half of the things in 2025 were going to happen. That's how it goes. Yeah. But it was a lot of really positive things. And so I'm hoping to keep the positivity going into 2026. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like it came so quickly. I had a birthday from the last time we recorded.
Happy belated.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, and then got to see family over the holidays, which was nice. But also with that, got to pick up a few bugs in the airport, I guess. So I'm almost there. But if y'all think, wow, his voice sounds a little weird, that's why. But one thing, thinking about the new year that I am so grateful for from the previous year, and just see limitless potential is this podcast and being able to do it with you. And then also that y'all are watching and listening really means a lot to us. And so I'm just really grateful for everyone at home listening and watching.
Yes. Very grateful for you listeners. Thank you for being on this journey with us. And truly there is so much growth potential for this podcast.
Oh, of course. I
feel like every time Nathan and I talk, there's a new idea for things we could do and things we're excited to do and bring about. So I'm excited to continue on the journey and to see what comes of it. And right now I'm just having a blast because at the end of the day, I get to watch a show and talk about it. And that is just one of my favorite things to do. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun and it's not work, and take our minds off out of the real world for a little bit and go back to 1964. So.
Right. Yes.
Speaking of 1964.
That was an incredible segue. I'm honestly
I'm getting good at it.
I'm
getting good at this.
Impressed. Yeah, what was happening on this day in history?
So nothing on so the episode came out on November 5th, 1964, and it was again sponsored by Quaker Oats. So nothing really on November 5th, but this was an election year. And on November 3rd, Lyndon B. Johnson is officially elected president after, of course, stepping in after the assassination of Kennedy. So he was elected officially just 2 days before this episode premiered.
Wow. Yeah. That's an interesting look at history. I always forget that he was a vice president and took over kind of the duties of the president after JFK was assassinated. And then he was voted in. Simpler times.
Yeah. You want to watch a really good movie? I'm sure some of our listeners might already watched it when it came out, but I saw it in theaters. It was Jackie from 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015. Starring Natalie Portman.
She plays Jackie
Kennedy. But especially those scenes, right, when they're like trying to swear him in and everything, and she's still like covered in blood, of course. And I was like, can I just have a time to breathe? And they're like, no. But like really, like they could have given her some time. Like you did not have to do it right now.
Yeah. What?
So yeah.
That's crazy. So she wasn't able to change clothes, go be with family and grieve.
No.
Anything. She had to be there while he was sworn in. That is insane. I didn't know that. Yeah,
so like right on the, I guess it's Air Force One or whatever, but yeah, right there, wherever in Texas or,
Oh, I guess they were like, let's get out of here. Let's get on this plane back to the Oval Office.
So it was really important to them to get it done, and so she lost her husband and wasn't the first lady all in one day.
That's awful. well, I should watch that.
It's phenomenal.
A very good, cheerful movie.
Well, it is, other than like that, whatever. Okay. But of course she does a killer job, and then the cinematography and the music are incredible. So
I love Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite roles she's ever done. So not a lot of people remember, I guess, that movie, but my favorite like interpretations of Jackie O, right, played by someone. So
very cool.
But yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah, you want to dive on in?
Let's dive on in, shall we?
Oh, something else of note is that apparently this episode was written by two people. So our first episode written by a couple. Not saying they were a couple, but a couple is in two people.
Couple of folks.
So yeah, it was written by Paul David and John L. Green. So gonna keep our eyes peeled to see if they write anything else.
I love this. Yeah, I noticed that as well. It'll be interesting as we go through the episode to see like what can two brains bring to the table.
Yes, that where one was just not enough.
It was interesting because in one of our Bewitched Bibles, the Bewitched Continuum by Adam Michael James, it actually lists this episode as episode 9 and saying that it aired after Witch or Wife. So I'm not sure where in the lineup it occurred, because I know there was some mess with a couple of episodes earlier on in the season. But that's interesting how I've never seen a show where it's been like unsure which order it comes in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I didn't see, I guess with the next episode, if there is any like continuity errors or something. I didn't notice anything this time.
No, I don't think so.
We shall see. Yeah, so it starts out with a typical day at home, a typical evening.
Yeah.
Looks like Darrin's still working. And Samantha's curled up on the couch behind him with some needlework.
Have we ever seen them on the couch together?
No, I feel like not like this. Not so domestic.
Yeah, this just looks like a regular thing, right? Like a look into their everyday life might be, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's clearly brought some work from home and he's looking at it and everything, and she's behind him struggling to thread a needle.
Which, girl, me too. I cross-stitched a bunch of ugly Christmas sweaters for my family this year as Christmas gifts.
Nice.
It is the most cumbersome task to have to, in between doing the actual stitching, thread the needle through. And so watching her struggle, I felt so seen. I was like, yeah, I get it. I get you, Bill.
Do you know how she like would be able to avoid that?
With one of those little tools where you like stick it in through and then you like pull it through. But even that's annoying. What?
She's a witch.
Oh, yeah.
So she could like, I don't know, just not sew anything and
Oh my
brick
God.
herself or mess with that. But instead, she still wants to do the work herself. And her husband is right there.
I know.
She's literally going behind his back.
That's true.
But she can't get it. And so she, looks to make sure Darrin's not looking. And twitches her nose. And the thread and needle turn giant. And she even still licks the giant thread before she puts it through the giant needle. And ties it off. And then, puts it back to normal and still, oh, he didn't see? Okay, good. And then that's when the theme song starts.
Yeah, first he's like, okay, time to pay attention to my wife.
Well,
does that happen after the theme song? Oh, okay. So all that bits in the beginning. Okay. Yeah, it's hilarious how they're so big. Like she could have made them just like a little bit bigger, but that wouldn't be as funny. And this is comedy. This is comedy. Yeah,
I still love like the only thing that pops in my head like watching this scene, with no dialogue or anything, is just like, she's still just having to go behind his back to be herself. And it kind of made me sad.
Yeah. Which like, yeah. Who is Sam, honestly?
Who is she?
Because I feel like we don't really know who she is before she met Darrin. We don't really get any peeks into her former life. Did she have any boyfriends before this?
Is she 600 years old?
Like, is she someone who enjoys needlework? Like, who is she and what does she enjoy? And I feel like she's going through her own self-discovery throughout these episodes as well. But yeah, the theme plays, and then we cut back to them. They're at home.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, time to set this aside and pay attention to my wife.
My wife.
And she's like, oh, me, I'm having a right swell time. And he's like, well, it's a Friday evening. It's time for romance.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. We learn it's a Friday night, and she like gets excited, it seems, at the like thought of like, oh, okay, like let's go out and do something fun. And he's like, go out? Like, no, like I'm not putting my shoes back on for anything.
I know, it's funny. He's like, I'm not putting a shoe on or a tie on for anything. We're staying in. And I thought that was really funny because a moment later the phone rings and he's like, all right, well, time to put on some clothes. Right? He's like, his wife is like, oh, let's go dancing, let's go out and do something. And
like she seems excited, she wants to get out of the house, right? Since she's a housewife and she's always at home, like where she belongs, of course. But no, so he like gets up to put his stuff in the study, I guess, the stuff from work. And the phone rings and he's like, can you answer that, honey? And so she does, and we don't hear who's on the other line, who's on the other side, but she's like, oh, yes, he is. And she's like, oh, Darrin, it's for you. And so he comes back in, and I will say, I noticed, which they need to bring back because it's so cool. I would want like anyway, he's wearing a sweater vest in this whole scene, right? And it's really cool, but I would want like the cardigan version instead of the vest version. But like the button, it fastens on the bottom, and the button is like over to the side, and that's where it fastens, and it like would open, and it looks really cool.
Cute.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
I love this.
So yeah, we need to, speaking of sewing, let's just start making our own clothes.
Yes. I won't volunteer to do that because I abhor the work, but we can find someone who will. If you or someone you know is a seamstress, please let us know.
Yeah.
We'll get to work on that.
But yeah, so he answers the phone and is talking. They sound like he's talked to this person before, it seems, and then he gets off the phone and she's like, who is that? Like, he's kind of smiling, and she's like, who is it? And he tells her that he is going to be interviewed for being a young advertising executive.
I'm to be interviewed as the prototype of the successful young advertising executive.
Oh, really, Darrin? For newspapers and magazines, television, something like that?
Something like that.
Which one?
A paper.
Which one?
A local paper.
Which one?
Local school paper.
Oh. Which one?
A local junior college paper by a local junior college journalism student.
Well, I think that's very nice.
First he goes, it's an admirer.
Mm-hmm.
He's very coy about it. And Samantha has to prod him a little bit, like, oh, which one? Like, which paper?
Yeah. And it keeps dwindling down, like making his ego deflate more and more. Cause she's like, ooh, what newspaper, and, but basically we find out it is for a like junior high newspaper.
Yeah. Cause I was wondering at first, I was like, why is he being so cagey about what newspaper it is? But I guess it is truly like his ego. It's less and less glamorous the more he talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because, a moment ago he was like, oh, I just want a quiet evening, the two of us. And now suddenly he's like, can you make some cold cuts? Yeah,
because on the phone, he's like, oh, tonight? Oh, that would work perfectly. And just invite somebody over when he already said he just wanted to spend time with his wife. And so she's just kind of like, really?
Yeah.
And then, asks her to make sandwiches. And then he runs upstairs and is like, even though he said he wouldn't, he's like, oh, I can't be interviewed like this. I got to put on a tie.
Yeah. And it's funny because at no point is he like, is it okay if someone comes over tonight, dear, since this is your house and you live here too, and this is also your Friday evening? Yeah.
Yep. And asked her to make sandwiches and stuff.
And then she's like, why don't you give me a quarter and I'll go to the movies? Which I think would be a good deal because she wanted to go out anyway and he wanted to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
And then he could have his little interview and it can be like everyone gets to eat their cake.
Exactly. Or pie, as we'll see.
Or pie.
I wish like candy were 25 cents of the movies because I feel like a lot of more people would like be at the movie theater, right?
100%.
If things were 25 cents. Versus $25.
I know, it's so expensive. My theater that's right around the corner does $6 Tuesdays. And I really appreciate that because I never go to the movies unless it's a Tuesday and I can just walk on over.
But I seem to have found myself as like kind of a film snob where I only want to see it in like large format stuff. So we're also lucky that we have one of the actual real IMAX, right? Like in the whole Pacific Northwest. And so if I want to see something, like I'm going to see it there.
Because you saw Avatar there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw the last two movies there and it was extraordinary, right?
Yeah.
So
I used to go all the time to see movies in IMAX and it is a completely different experience than seeing it at home or in a normal movie theater.
But it's cheaper to go there than it is to go to the fake IMAX, like at an AMC or something. So I was like, well, might as well. And you get the real thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we can also mention that apparently Darrin's picture was in the paper when they moved in. And that's how this student first saw his picture. Yeah, so I was a little confused about that. Where they literally like, because they talk about the photographer like capturing his handsome good looks or whatever. And I'm like, what does this little community that they live in or suburb literally have somebody go around and be like, oh, new neighbor in town, like, Yeah, because I was trying to think of why that would occur too. Is that normal back in the 60s for when people move in their pictures to get taken? But I think we do know that it was a new neighborhood. It was under development. So it could be possible that the local paper was like, oh, this brand new neighborhood. And this is, the 6th lot sold or something. I could see that. Or maybe, because we don't hear anything about a picture in the paper when the welcome wagon comes around, but I don't know. And that's not very good continuity wise, but what they do. And with 2 writers. And you would think. But as far as continuity goes, they do a good job of including Caldwell's soup. Yes. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll get there. So this person comes over, and at first Samantha's like, oh, did his mother call? And we find out it's actually a woman, and she's like, oh, a she. And she arrives, and her name is Liza Randall.
Yes. No other people should be named Liza, first of all.
Why?
Because then I hear the word Liza, I only think of one person.
Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only person that should ever be named Liza in all of human history.
Yeah.
Just like Cher, that's only one Cher. And you remember when that Cher Lloyd or whoever that was? I remember when that happened. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who's this person? Like, you are nothing.
Oh, my God.
So it really bothers me.
I get that. Yeah, that's real. I agree, though. I was like, Liza, such an interesting name. But the first thing I note as soon as we see Liza is the body language is completely inappropriate. Darrin is like squished up against the arm of the couch, and Liza has her entire body like angled towards him, like her knees are touching his, and Samantha's sitting in a chair like
opposite.
On the like across the table is across. And it makes zero sense for them to be positioned in this way.
I appreciate your letting me come over tonight. You're the most important term project I've got.
Well, I'm flattered.
It's really fascinating how much you look like your picture.
Oh, yes. Somehow that photographer caught... Thank you. Can we offer you something?
Please don't go to any bother. Oh, it's no bother. It's no bother. I have sandwiches already. You're very sweet, and I'll try not to keep your husband for too long.
I said she is oozing over him.
She is oozing all over him.
And Samantha's just like trying to get a word in edgewise, right?
Yeah, and Liza even refers to like seeing his picture in the paper, and earlier when Sam and Darrin were talking about it, she remarks that he looked quite sexy in the photo. And while Liza brings up the photo, Darrin has a moment where he's like, oh yes, I looked quite, and he's about to say sexy and repeat what Sam says.
He like looks at her
and
real
he
quick.
Makes eye contact with Sam, and then he changes what he was going to say. And I thought it was quite disconcerting that he had to look to his wife to realize that would be inappropriate to say to this teenager, basically.
Yeah. Because junior college, so she's probably like, I guess we can assume she's at least 18 or
definitely.
19.
Yeah, or even 20 if she's a
So
junior.
luckily, we do not have to put a disclaimer in front of this episode that there's inappropriate behavior.
Nope, just inappropriate in the way of a married man and a young woman, half his age.
Yes. So Darrin is clearly kind of uncomfortable, but kind of likes the attention as well of someone like being excited about his job and like all those things, right? But we clearly know that she's not interested in his job. She's interested in him, right? So he offers her some food, some beverages that Samantha had prepared, right? And she's like, oh, no, don't worry about it, and immediately goes back to him, like, trying to do it.
She's, like, looking Sam up and down. Like, like, the way she's looking at Sam is so judgmental.
Yeah, but the way the camera's framed as well, right? With them on the couch from Sam's perspective, Liza's body is completely... closed off, like her back is to Samantha because she's so close to Darrin on the couch. And so if Sam does say something, Liza has to turn her like entire body around, right, to look at Sam and be like, oh, you're so sweet. They're like, no, I'm good. But yeah, she says when he offers her the food, like, oh, I don't want to be a bother, and Sam tries to assure that she won't be. And I was like, mostly because she already made the sandwiches, right? She's like, well, I just need somebody to eat them.
Please eat these sandwiches.
Yeah. That's when she says, oh, you're very sweet. And you're very sweet. And I'll try not to keep your husband for too long.
All the things she says.
And then this is when she brings up the Caldwell soup ad. And she's like, oh, how did you even come up with that? And this is after Samantha does go into the kitchen to grab the sandwiches and something to drink because Liza's like, oh, I do need something maybe to cool myself off.
Yeah.
I'm like, she used the word cool myself off. Like, girl.
Yeah, what?
His wife is right there.
Yeah. So Sam's not there to be like, oh, that was
me. But Darrin is like surprised by this because he was like, like excited. He's like, how did you know that was mine? Like, actually wants to talk about advertising. And she's like, oh, I've done my homework or whatever. And like all this crap. So yeah, and
she compliments him and talks about how he's very successful to be so young.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm not that young. Like, I guess there are plenty of men in my industry who are older than me, though. And then Sam comes in with the sandwiches and goes, baloney. And
yeah,
it's hilarious.
And like she has like 3 or 4 different types of meats, and I'm like, why do you have so much lunch meat in your refrigerator?
To send off Darrin with a good packed lunch.
And she said, oh, and this one has that stinky cheese. Darrin just loves the stinky cheese.
She goes, my husband loves the stinky cheese.
Oh yeah,
they're using the language in this scene,
because this is also though when we learn her full name is Liza Randall, and that's when she says, well, I'll call you Darrin.
Yeah.
But she still calls, Samantha Mrs. Stevens, Mrs. Stevens, like, oh, you're old.
Yeah, right? And she does say, she's like, as long as that's okay with Mrs. Stevens.
Yeah.
And that's when I would have cut in as Samantha and been like, oh, no worries, Liza. You can call me Sam or
yeah,
Samantha.
Exactly.
But that does not occur.
Yeah, I think Sam was like, no, you're not calling me Sam or Samantha.
Yeah, no.
So, would you like to hear a little something about Liza Randall?
Oh, yes. Tell me.
Well, at first I have to go and slip into something a little more comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Like a bathing suit.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to go get on the diving board.
Oh, uh-huh.
At the local pool.
Uh-huh.
And then do not a big dive. I'm not going to go to the top of the diving board. I'm going to go to the lower one because this is going to be a mini dive.
Oh, a mini dive.
Deep dive.
A jump.
So it'll make a nice little, not even a splash. It'll go bloop, bloop when I dive in the water.
I love this.
So yes, Liza is played by Cheryl Holdridge, and she was born on June 20th, 1944 in New Orleans, Louisiana. She was an original member of the Mickey Mouse Club. She joined in their 2nd season.
Oh my God.
And she had a small role in Leave It to Beaver. And then, of course, later she reprised her role in the new Leave It to Beaver, the one that came out. They tried to do in like the 80s, but she played the same character. She also guest starred on mini shows like, you've heard these plenty of times, The Rifleman, Wagon Train, Dick Van Dyke, and of course, Bewitched. No Twilight Zone for her. She was offered the role of Ellie Mae Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. Okay. But unfortunately, she wasn't able to do it because she was under a contract at the time, and they wouldn't let her out of the contract.
Oh, man.
So we could have got a different Ellie Mae Clampett, which I was like, I wonder how that would have worked. So yeah, especially because she retired from acting in 1964. So like, when this episode aired, basically she was retired from acting to marry Lance Rivendlow, who was a race car driver, and he happened to be the heir to the Woolworth fortune. The department store Woolworths.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that he was the heir to that.
She gave up her acting career to marry a man?
She did.
A nepo baby?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Money talks.
Apparently.
She said this acting thing is not going well.
I know. She's like, my contract, they won't let me do anything with my contract. Yeah. I keep playing these hussies who take people's husbands.
But that's why I thought, like, if she did, like, accept the role of Ellie Mae, like, would she still have retired to marry this guy?
She's so beautiful, though. I feel like her career would have skyrocketed.
Yeah, because, I mean, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
The Beverly Hillbillies. So, but again, like, would it have been a thing where she would have had to have been replaced? Midway through, because she's gonna go get married, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I think it was all for the best, and I can't remember her name, but that played Ellie Mae got the role instead, and of course killed it. So, have you ever watched Beverly Hillbillies?
I've not.
Oh, okay.
I've not.
That'll be the next podcast now. I don't like it that much.
Okay.
But yeah, they were married until 1972.
Okay.
when he was unfortunately killed in a plane crash.
Oh.
Yes. So he had something about like in Colorado, like Aspen. So when I saw he died in Aspen, I was like, oh no. Like, I have a fear of skiing because I'm so scared of hitting a tree and dying.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
speaking of Cher, like Sunny, you know, and like all the, like a lot of people have died skiing. And so when I saw Aspen and he died early, I was like, oh no, another tree got him. So, but no, it was a plane crash of all things. And he himself could fly and was kind of experienced. But for some reason, a 29-year-old, like, trainee was piloting with like barely 30 hours under his belt, and so they went down somewhere like in the snowy mountains, and yeah, it was really sad. But anyway,
tragic.
on to her second husband.
Oh, she didn't go back to an acting career after that.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Her second husband was indicted for being the leader of a drug smuggling operation.
Oh my God. That is insane.
Yeah, it's so, like something about like he, I guess, used like he a used car salesman as a front or something. So yeah, I don't really know how much she knew about the situation, but he was arrested and she was not.
I mean, could she really not know anything? Back in those days, you didn't really talk to your significant other, so
Again,
I guess it is possible that he had a completely secret
She
life.
was the wife, and like, don't ask about my work. It's none of your business. You're just a woman. You don't know what you're talking about.
Make me a sandwich.
Bitch.
I liked the pause before you said
it. Of course, if y'all have watched or listened, you know that we don't believe these things.
Oh, we're so sexist.
We're just kidding. Yeah, and so, of course, they went on to divorce in 1988. And her third husband was a California Democrat fundraiser and controller who was 26 years older than her. And they were married until he passed away in 2000.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
We can't do the voice again.
Sorry. Unless you like it, let us know. But also in 2000, Cheryl had a cameo in the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas as Genevieve.
Cute.
And unfortunately, she did pass away from lung cancer on January 6, 2009, and she was 64.
Wow, she was young.
January 6th is tomorrow as we record this, so will be the anniversary of her passing.
Wow, so her marriages were all over the place.
Yeah.
So many different chapters of her life with so many different leading men.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
So yeah.
Oh,
That was Cheryl.
For that little minute ditty.
Of course.
Oh, Cheryl.
So, going back into the episode.
What? Sorry. We also learned, I'm sorry, I just remembered a point. We learned that...
You see that, though? That was a... you talked over me.
Oh, I interrupted you?
Barbode. Not the other way around. Even though I did just cut you off to say this.
That's okay. That's how conversation works.
Yeah.
I forgive you. But if you do it again, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you.
Language.
Okay. So basically, I was surprised. Okay, so you had said how when the phone first rang, it seemed like they were familiar to each other, and like this was not their first time talking. When I first saw the episode, I thought that was their first time talking, but maybe it just felt like that because it's Samantha's first time hearing about it.
Yeah.
But then later on, we find out that they talked a few days prior, and they had so that was not their first phone call.
He's a slimy, cheating snake.
Right? He's a liar. Okay? He's deceiving by not telling the full truth.
Exactly.
But I am like, why would he not talk to Sam about that before? Like, I think that's an exciting thing to learn, that someone wants to write a paper about you, and he doesn't share it with her.
But he did it on purpose because he was probably like, oh, she's going to get jealous.
Oh, she's going to get jealous. She's going to be jealous of him getting interviewed. That's just so crazy to me because she's a witch. She has a magic. She's way cooler than him.
Or maybe these two writers just didn't think about that. And they're like, oh, wait, let's put this in there.
We need Barbara Avedon on the case.
We do.
We do.
Queen.
Anyway, so we find they've chatted before previously, maybe several times.
Yes. Well, she says that we get into that. Like, we learn that because she says, oh, I figure you don't get any work done at home. Kind of whatever to Samantha, basically. And so they should just pick it up at his office in the morning. Mm-hmm. And that's how Samantha learns about it. And he's like, Darren's like, oh yeah, we kind of talked about it. Like, she wants to see the office, blah, blah, blah.
She's never seen a marketing advertisement agency. And Sam's like, I suppose everyone should at one point or another. And I'm like, how many people have
yeah.
seen that?
Well, she's being like sarcastic because she's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah. Niche.
Yeah. And so she's annoyed. And so eventually, he walks her out the door and closes the door, and he's all aglow, and his ego and his head is so big, and she's just kind of like, oh yeah, typical schoolgirl, like all these things. And he says, oh, she's just a kid. Like, he starts calling her a kid, and she says, well, you certainly seem to have brought the woman in. So she says, you certainly seem to bring the woman out of her. Right.
It's yeah. Watching the end of that scene in particular is a little difficult because they even discuss, like, Liza asks him, what time tomorrow? And he goes, 9:00 should be fine. And Samantha asks, in the morning? And Darren's like, well, of course in the morning. And it's like, there have been so many boundaries crossed in this however long 30-minute conversation.
Yeah.
That you would want to clarify that, because the way she's touching him, sitting close to him, like treating Samantha, and even when they leave, she's like, wonderful to have met you, and he like leans in and he's like, wonderful to have met, and then looks at Samantha and pulls back.
So like another thing with the almost saying, oh, I found, like, people find it sexy or whatever, like his picture, right?
Yeah.
So another kind of callback of that.
Yeah, of him of kind of like leaning into this flattery and this attention that she's giving him, and he's not setting appropriate boundaries.
Yeah.
And it causes issues, as we will see.
As it should.
Mm-hmm. As it should.
Yeah, so cut to the next morning at breakfast.
Well, hold on. She gets mad because he's like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down.
Oh, it's okay. So he talks, he's like boasting about himself, and he's like, well, I am like a handsome, successful man. And she's like, vanity is human or something. And then he goes, well, what's wrong with being human? At least I'm not a... Stops himself. And then Samantha looks at him and says, not a what? And then she
is like pissed.
She's pissed. And she disappears.
Sam, now cut that out. You're not jealous of a school kid, are you?
Not of what?
A teenage, freckle-faced school kid in short socks and sneakers. When I have something like you.
Like what?
A fascinating, bewitching, beguiling.
You convinced me.
He weasels his way...
Oh, yeah. He goes,
into her not being too mad at him anymore.
Beguiling, bewitching, and then she appears right next to him. And if I was Samantha, I would have let him go on a little bit. I'm like, 3 words to describe me is not enough. Like, let's hear more about how wonderful I am and how lucky you are to have me.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, cut to the next morning at breakfast, and this is when we see the reappearance of that ugly smock that she wore in like the last episode and like the last like 5 episodes. And at first I was like, oh, okay, well maybe they kind of had her in that because maybe it was like more a little loose and they could hide her belly bump a little more, right? Like the baby bump. But then if the last episode 7 was the last one they filmed before she gave birth, why should they still got her in this ugly dress? So it just annoys me, and I think it's hideous.
I know, I get it.
It's so shapeless.
Yeah.
And she has a killer figure.
We should be showing it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Darrin is all like, oh, like she's like, oh, well, where is what's she call her? Where is this young freckle-faced girl or whatever?
Schoolgirl, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I don't know, because she's like, oh, it's 9:15, like she's late. And he's like, well, you know, you should go with us. Like, that would be wonderful. Like, you should come. And Samantha's immediately like, oh, no. Like, I'm good. I have plenty of housework I need to get done here. Like, you know, all
like,
that.
good of him to invite her.
Yeah, but she knows why he's inviting her, just so, you know, he can say later, like, well, I invited you. You know, like, I didn't do anything wrong.
There's several points about, like, Samantha can be as secure in their relationship and who she is as a woman and everything she has to offer to a relationship. But none of that matters if Darrin is still leaning into the flattery of this young girl, encouraging this young girl. Yeah. Like, is he so starved for attention that he would let that get in the way of his wife's feelings and this girl's feelings?
Which I'm surprised that he never kind of, in our argument later, we'll get there, that he doesn't kind of bring that up of like, oh, well, you never basically, you know, like pump him up anymore. Like, you never talk about my whatever, my work and
yeah, you
how
don't
good
take
I
an
am.
interest in, which she does.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Especially with Caldwell soup.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm glad he kind of doesn't do that, but I could see where they could easily just naturally put that in there.
Yeah.
With saying, oh, well, maybe I liked having a little attention from her because it, you know, like it was nice to have someone interested in what I do. Right.
Yeah.
But maybe that's where the two writers came in and they're like, no, Samantha does show interest in his work.
Yes.
We can't say that.
Yes.
Stop.
But I don't know. I feel like it is bad writing because if that is like he's needing attention from this girl, I feel like in all the previous episodes we've shown where Samantha does take an interest in his work, like does throw incredible house parties, does take an interest in like his associates at work as well.
Yeah. And they're still newlyweds, right?
Yeah, right. So why would he so quickly be? I don't know. This episode does feel a little out of place to me. Mm-hmm. But
like a different show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they argue a lot for a young couple.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it was a quick engagement. Okay, anyway.
It was a quick engagement. Yeah, and so the doorbell rings, and of course it is Liza. Samantha opens the door, and she's just kind of lost for words. Now, why is she a little lost for words, Madison?
Well, that's because Liza is, once again, not being very appropriate for the situation. She's dressed in a dress. Her shoulders are bare. Her clavicle. It's
like spaghetti strap.
Yeah. Her hair is like all done up. Cute, right? But she is wearing heels and her dress is really short and it's all just a little inappropriate for a trip to a professional office
at 9:15 a.m.
Right.
So she looks like she's going to go to the theater or something.
Yes, exactly. But even at the theater, you would bring like a little cardigan
a
to
little
cover your arms
shawl.
because it might be cold.
Yeah. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah, she has a little handbag, her little clutch or something.
She looks cute.
Yeah.
She looks cute.
But like they're going on a date.
It looks like
what she's doing.
Yeah.
And so of course Samantha's like shocked and she's just like, oh, come on in, you know.
Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah. And so she goes back to her spot at the breakfast table and Darren's like, oh, why didn't you invite her in?
Well, first he asks, who is it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, you know, she's 15 minutes late. You know that it's who it is. Like, why are you asking who it is as if it could be anyone else other than the person you've been expecting for the last half hour?
And that's when, again, she says the thing about, oh, just your regular all-American freckle-faced teenager.
Yes. And then he's like, oh, you should like invite her and come on in, Liza. And then she comes in, she sits down.
And he is also shooketh.
Yes, he sure is. So much so that...
But maybe in a different way than Samantha is, as we see.
Yes. Because he's like, oh, I just need to finish my eggs.
Yeah.
Because she's like sitting in kind of a high chair behind the breakfast table. And so you can see like all of her entire body. And yeah.
It was just like, you know, some Sharon Stone, like way she crossed her legs. And then that's when he's like, oh, you know. And Samantha, of course, is like glaring at him like, you're so stupid, especially after the legs for eggs thing. He
invites her to the office again. She goes, no, y'all have fun.
Yeah. And then so he finally gets done with his eggs and grabs his coat and everything. And she's like, again, she makes sure to be like, we won't, I promise I won't keep your husband out for too long, Mrs. Stevens, you know. And they go out the door, and then we cut to the front yard, and she's like, you know, waiting at the car, and he goes to the driver's side, and she's just waiting there. And before he opens the door, he's like, oh, and he goes to the other side and opens the door for her. And Samantha's at their front door watching all of this, and she like wanted him, like she made him open the door for her.
What a weirdo who just stands there and waits for someone to open their door, clearly treating it like a date.
Exactly.
And not like she's there to interview him. Like it's weird. So
funny. And so then they drive off, and we immediately see as they drive off that she's not in the passenger side seat. There is no room for Jesus between them in that car. She's right up against him.
She scooches all the way over
as they drive away. And so then after they drive off, we cut back to the front yard, the front of the house. Samantha closes the front door, and then we go to a bush, and we're like, why are we in a bush? And then this gigantic man,
he's so tall,
stands up out of the bush. Was clearly not there in the earlier scenes, which I think would be hilarious if they had him waiting in that bush the whole time. And you could like see him like doing a Gladys Kravitz,
poking
you know.
Out.
But they don't. And so he stands up like he's been hiding in the bushes the whole time, and goes and knocks on the door. And Samantha's like, what? Who could that be now? And so she opens the door, and he introduces himself as Marvin Grogan, or all my friends call me Monster.
Because he looks like he could play like a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Or Frankenstein's monster, I mean. Because he is just very tall and a little like... He has good posture, but if he hunched... And he does hunch later in the episode. He does look like a monster.
But like him, like at the front door, right? Like he's at the top, you know...
Filling the entire doorway.
And it reminded me of like how Brad Garrett always looks on Everybody Loves Raymond, right? Like at the same thing, like barely clearing the top of the door. And so he's probably about the same height. But yeah, he's wearing, I love it. He's wearing this like Letterman sweater cardigan thing. It looks so comfortable. And I was like, oh, I really want one of those now.
It's the kind of like cardigan that you want to steal from your significant other. Yeah. Like you would wear that all the time because it's lived in and cozy and comfy.
Yeah. Like the sleeves look long, and yeah, it looks really comfortable.
Yeah. Yes, he's there, and he is like, ma'am, are you aware that that girl is driving away with your husband? And she looked rather cozy and comfy up next to him. And Sam's like, oh, you know, I did notice that. But I'm sure it's nothing to be alarmed about. And he's like, actually, it is quite alarming. And he reads on, he starts to list why it is alarming.
He holds up his gigantic hand, and as he like lists the reasons, he puts down a finger until he gets into a fist. And then that's when it's revealed that he and Liza are supposed to be engaged, and he's going to break Darrin in half.
Yeah. They have a standing date every Saturday. And yeah, first red flag is that she lied about going shopping with her mom.
Yeah, she tells him that her and her mom are going to go shopping. And he followed her because he's like, okay, that's bullshit.
Because she's a repeat offender.
Yeah,
she's
as
done
we
this
find
before.
out.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, oh, well, she's cheating on me with an old guy.
Yeah, because she has, you've heard of a mother complex? She has a father complex.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, yeah, he says, you heard of a mother complex? She has one, but for fathers, or whatever. He says it funny. Yeah. But yeah, so he's clearly upset, and I don't know why, but like Sam doesn't seem upset about the stuff going on with Darrin and Liza until later. Like, still, she's just kind of like placating him. She's like, oh, okay, you better come inside.
She seems more concerned with the threat Monster poses to Darrin's face than to the threat Liza poses to her marriage, which I guess is a good sign that she trusts Darrin so much. And she is so secure in herself and her relationship. But I thought it was interesting. I wrote down because mother complex, meaning Oedipus complex, but also Freud said that a boy develops an unconscious infatuation with his mother and simultaneously fears his father to be a rival. And that is exactly what I feel like is happening in the first scene with Liza, Sam, and Darrin, where Liza sees Sam as a rival and has a clear infatuation with Darrin.
Yeah.
And more of that comes up at the office. But we'll get into it.
Yeah. So I don't remember, like, she's basically like, are you hungry? Kind of thing. And
she's like, you better come in.
Yeah.
I think that she says something about like there's clearly a problem, and the problem she means is the fact that Monster is violent and wants to beat up her husband.
Yeah, so she tells him what he wants to hear, and so he goes inside, and then as soon as the door shuts, we cut to Darren's office at McMahon and Tate, and he showed these incredible sketches, like these, you know, illustrated versions of like women in these incredible dresses and everything, and he's like going over basically telling her the things he does on a daily basis, right? Like this is how it starts at the preliminary sketches, and then we move on, listen to the client, and she's clearly very bored. So we know again, like after what Monster said, and then now it's like she doesn't care about advertising whatsoever.
No.
She's very bored. And so then to get his attention and to make him stop talking about the boring stuff, she literally sits on his desk like Fran Fine on The Nanny. She's just all over it, and he's like, whoa, like
he
kind of
doesn't
taken
say
aback.
a thing to stop her though.
He just lets her do it.
Yeah.
But he notices. And she just randomly asks if Samantha's jealous. She's like, is your wife jealous? He's like, what are you talking about?
It's like, no more than other women.
Yeah. And so then we cut back to the house.
Well, first he says, Liza, did you come down here to study advertising techniques or to ask me a lot of personal questions that are none of your business? And I wrote this down. I underlined it. Finally, an acknowledgement of the boundaries that she's crossing. And I was very proud of Darrin in that moment, that he finally said something about how her questions are inappropriate and she is clearly not showing any interest in his work. Yeah.
Because when he says that, I said, ooh. When he says none of your business. But yeah, cut back to their house, and Monster is sat at the breakfast table in the kitchen, and there's like 3 empty plates in front of him, and we come to find out that he just put away about 8 or 9 stacks of pancakes.
And a bunch of bacon and sausage.
Yeah, because she says, oh, would you like another stack of pancakes?
Yeah, and he's like, 8 or 9 is about all I can do. Yeah,
and oh my God. And then I was just like, oh, pancakes sounds so good.
I know. A day later, I made waffles.
I'm making waffles.
I'm making waffles. I love that movie.
No, well, you've been down to the South. Like, you've been to Waffle House, right?
Oh, yeah. I actually love a Waffle House.
Please. And there's nothing like that up here. Like, we have IHOP, but I hate it. I've never liked IHOP. I think it's terrible.
IHOP and Denny's are the same to me. They're both bad, not good quality. I love a Waffle House. I also love a Cracker Barrel. I love
well, that's pushing it.
Okay.
We'll cut that out.
Wait, because of the issue.
We'll cut that out.
Wait, why?
Well, when my mother and my grandmother and my sister, they can make food 10 times better than anything.
That's
the unseasoned of it.
That's
food.
not why I go to Cracker Barrel though. I go for the store. I go so that I can walk around the little general store, smell a bunch of candles, look at all the little knickknacks, maybe get something for my mom for Christmas or one of the old-fashioned candies.
Okay.
I go more for like the experience and the ambiance rather than the quality of the food.
So what we're learning is that you are the actual one that's like an 80-year-old woman, not me.
I think we're both 80-year-old women in our own way.
Okay. I'm just the one that despises Cracker Barrel, and you're the one that got mad a few months ago and they changed the logo.
Yes, definitely. I thought it was funny, the little PR thing that they put out about it.
I have no idea.
We'll cut that.
Anyway,
Waffle
House is incredible, and it's one of the many things I miss about the South, especially like if you're really hungry and you had a really long day, or you've been at the music festival and you can go to Waffle House at 2 a.m. and it's like the best food you've ever had in your entire life.
They're good waffles, good quality flavor.
I only get the pecan waffle, the waffle with the pecans in it. And then, of course, all the fixins and everything. And then cheese in the hash browns and in the scrambled eggs.
Do you remember that Vine that was like, can I get a waffle? Can I please get a waffle?
That happened in where I went to college.
That was your Waffle House?
Yes.
That's crazy.
So,
Oh my
famous.
God. Wow.
Famous.
Wow.
So you get a dinner and a show. You never know what you're going to get.
That is so true. They need to bring Waffle Houses up here.
But yeah. Anyway.
So
I
he's
really
eating
want a
his-
waffle.
Oh, I have some in the fridge.
Ooh.
They're not as good as Waffle House waffles. I also wanted to note that music and the sound design is playing a huge role in this episode. More so, I would say, than previous episodes. And here is why.
Okay.
When Liza first comes to the house, there's this kind of sensual music that plays.
Especially after she leaves the first, like they leaves their house.
And whenever they cut to Monster in the kitchen, there's this kind of trepidatious music that plays where it's like, like there's something scary that's about to happen. Like he's the threat.
And that's why she keeps stuffing food down his throat.
And this scene is so fun. The way that the pie, everything with the pie.
Yes. So after the pancakes, I can't remember. He's like gonna leave or something, and then she like says, "Oh, well, what would you like else?" And he's like, "Oh, I would love some pie." Or no, he said, "Pie helps me. Oh, when I'm training, but I'm not training right now."
Yes. She's like, "Oh, how about some dessert?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't really care for dessert unless it's pie."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, well, what kind of pie?" And then he goes, "Well, apple pie helps me when I'm training."
Yes. So yeah, he's like on their football team and everything. Hence the sweater. But yeah, and so he's like, "But if I'm not training, I love banana cream pie, but it's too rich. So maybe apple pie." Because, of course, she's like in the fridge and keeps changing it from apple to banana. And she's like, "Oh, just your luck." And like it's split down the middle, the banana cream pie and apple pie, which, of course, is impossible, basically. I guess maybe not.
Well, because you bake
the apple pie, but you would still have to cut out the other side of the apple pie, and then you could do the banana cream pie, because I guess that was just mostly in the fridge, right?
In the fridge, yeah. So I guess you could do it.
It is
but
possible.
Do you eat apple pie cold?
Well, you would still take slices out of it, though. So
I mean, he eats it whole.
Well, of course. She gives him she hands him, as she puts the pie in front, she says, "Oh, Steven's special."
That, like, the part in the middle where they touch would be very interesting to try, because those are very different flavors.
I've never liked cooked fruit.
Oh, yeah, you're one of those?
Yeah, but my mama made the best pies known to man. And so I always think about that, because even if I didn't like it, it's like, well, mama made it, so I'm gonna eat it. But now I wish I could still taste one of her apple pies, of course.
I know.
But either way, would you like to know a little something about Monsters actor?
Oh yes, tell me. Are you gonna go get into your swimsuit again?
No.
This time you're diving in that?
Yeah.
The jeans and water just sounds like a chafing nightmare.
I remember one time Granddaddy jumped into the pool with blue jeans on.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
For the bit.
I guess so. I was like, that looks terrible. It just had like a flash of memory of him jumping in the pool. Anyway, so a monster is played by Roger Ewing. And he was born on January 12th, 1942 in Los Angeles, California. In 1965, he guest starred in Gunsmoke as Clayton Thaddeus Greenwood, or Thad for short. And of course, like I've said, grew up watching Gunsmoke. I think it's one of the, because it lasted 25, 30 years it was on the air, because even before the show, before it was called Gunsmoke, it was just called Matt Dillon. And then before Matt Dillon, it was just a radio show.
Oh, yeah.
So it jumped from radio to television, and those were like 25 to 30 minute episodes. And then when it moved to Gunsmoke, it was a little longer.
Gotcha.
I know too much about
so much.
this. But yeah, so I was trying to remember like if I remembered any of his episodes just like offhand, and I don't really remember. But yeah, and his performance in that first guest appearance impressed the producers so much that they made him a series regular.
Wow.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, unbeknownst to him, instead of it being like, oh, you're such a good actor, we're just going to do this, they had ulterior motives, of course. So, during all of this, James Arnaz, the star, Matt Dillon, and CBS were in a heated dispute over his contract.
Oh.
That lasted like 3 years. His Roger's character was actually created to replace James Arnaz in Gunsmoke, the Matt Dillon, if they needed to replace him. Like if the contract thing didn't get sorted out, they were like, oh, here's this new
They had
kid.
a contingency plan.
They had a plan in place, which is insane. Like you can't have Gunsmoke without Matt Dillon. And you can't have Gunsmoke without Miss Kitty either. It's always my favorite part of Gunsmoke. But yeah, and so, well, because they had the whole will they, won't they, are they relationship between the two of them. I just love it. Anywho, by 1967, the dispute was finally over and they, figured it out. And so, unfortunately for Roger, he was written out of the show.
That is so messy and mean.
Yeah.
That's someone's livelihood they're playing with.
Not his fault whatsoever. And they literally brought him in under those shitty circumstances and then wrote him out when they could have just kept him around. Like, so they literally lied to him and was not impressed by his first, well, I'm sure they might have been, but still, like, to be like, oh, you're so wonderful, we're going to write you in the show and everything.
I know.
So awful.
I wonder if they tried to, like, because they were like, oh, we're going to fire this other actor. We'll get this new actor in. We can pay him way less money. And I wonder if, like, once they wrote the contract, they couldn't afford to keep both on. And that maybe that's why they had to write him out.
Because it kind of makes me wonder, like, I would love to have seen the look on their face, like, if they did replace James Arnaz in Gunsmoke with, like, a new character and how fast the rating, like, people would have been
dropped.
pissed
Yeah.
if he was gone. So, like, if it got canceled or whatever, and then be like, oh, I guess you should have figured it out. But yeah, so, and it's even more shitty because Roger was a huge fan of Gunsmoke because, again, it had been airing for forever. So he grew up with it. And they even did, like, a little parody of it at his high school. And, like, he was in it and he just loved it so much. And then they literally screwed him over. So don't meet your heroes is what I'm telling you.
Gosh, a lot of drama with actors and their contracts this episode.
So yeah, and so after that, he kind of appeared in a few films and some more guest spots like Rawhide and Death Valley Days. And he retired from acting in 1972 to become a photographer.
Wow, okay. Good for him.
Also, I can keep looking, but I guess since it's kind of like fresh, I can't find, so on most everything, he's still alive, but according to like IMDb and like one other thing, it says that he just passed away, on the 18th of December at 83, but I couldn't find any confirmation
or obituary or anything.
Yeah, and like usually things like this, like there's a lot of like Facebook pages dedicated to like Gunsmoke and like older actors and stuff, and there was nothing.
Oh my gosh. Maybe because it was so recent, you're one of the first people on the case.
I know. So like I'm going to keep looking at it, but as of right now I want to be positive and say that he's still with us. And again, 83 is not old. So yeah. But yeah, he seemed like a really great guy, and it just really pissed me off that they did that to him.
Yeah, that is messed up. Not cool whatsoever.
But CBS is not known for great decisions even back then, so.
Oh, okay. We're seeing a through line.
But anyway, jumping back to the episode.
Yes.
One of my favorite things, Samantha says, like, after he's eaten the pie and he's so excited, she says, I would rather you attack my icebox than my husband.
back.
That's what he's like. Oh, well, pie's really good because I need the sugar. What he says something like he gets going or something like he goes crazy or something.
He talks about how when he gets emotional, he needs sugar.
Yeah, to burn because it burns the best or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, and
we cut back to the office.
Yes, and we see we cut back and she's like clinking bottles. She's over there at his little drink station while he's again trying to explain to her. Literally, he's literally like pointing to like a line chart close to his desk, just talking away.
He does not notice at all that she is across the room clinking and doing other things, which by the way, there's like a little ice bin. Where did the ice come from? Do they have someone even on weekends who comes around and fills the ice bin up?
Yeah, because we know that, the previous day was Friday, so it's Saturday.
Yes.
So again, he wouldn't come in the office usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the full bar, right? And so she's over there clinking glasses, and she clearly doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what they are. She kind of keeps smelling them, and she's like, stinky or whatever. Which again, I was like, was the age of to drink in 1964 18 at the time, or has it always been 21?
The majority of states was 21 years old, but some set theirs lower at 18 or 20.
Oh, okay.
But it's clear that she's not a established drinker nor a bartender. She doesn't know how to make drinks. So yeah, she's sniffing them. She pours this couple different brown liquids in one glass, and then she just pours straight from one bottle a clear liquid, which at this point we don't know whether it's vodka or gin.
Yeah.
Or
water.
Water.
Tequila.
Tequila.
Okay, that would be really funny. That's definitely not 60s, but Darrin be such a trendsetter. If he just had a bottle of tequila instead of the more traditional 60s, drinks. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But yeah, so she makes these drinks, right? And she's holding them and walks them over to him while he's still fervently just going crazy about this stuff on this board, right?
Take clothing styles, for instance. Oh, a different designer dominates the field each year. Cheers. Then the public chooses one above all the others. Now, of course, we have...
Face acting is so good. He's such a genius. And yeah, the look of disgust, but also surprise, and almost does a spit take, right?
She's like, root beer. And he's like, root beer and what? And she's like, scotch. And then he's like, scotch. And then he asks her what she has, and she says gin. Straight gin.
She just had a full glass of gin and an ice cube.
I like gin, and I'm not going to drink that straight. Nasty.
So he tries to take it away from her because he's like, that's crazy. Also, why are you making us drinks? It's 10 a.m.
Literally. Right? Because if she's late, it's 9:15. He finishes his breakfast. Okay, 9:30. And then we know that they just drive straight into the office. They don't take the train because Larry talks about seeing his car at work. And so let's say maybe they get there around 11, and he's been talking for a while. So let's say it's noon at the earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a whole glass of gin.
Yeah, ridiculous. And he goes to try to take it from her and ends up spilling it all down her front, and he spills his drink on him. And so then he asks her to go grab a rag or a napkin, and while she does that, he goes, "You ought to be spanked."
Yes, I was gonna say I wrote that down. Yeah.
Which she takes to be oh, you're treating me like a child.
Yeah.
Which, as a modern viewer, I'm like, that's a little naughty. That's a little dirty.
So kinky,
That's
Darrin.
a little kinky, Darrin. But no, she takes it as oh, you spank a child when they misbehave.
And she's like, why do you keep treating me like a child? All those kind of things. And he's like, because you are.
And he's wiping her with the napkin, and then he realizes what he's doing, and he's like, you can do that. She's like, oh, I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, all the drinks are spilled.
Chaos. It's chaos.
And then cut to the hallway. We get Larry in this episode. So exciting. So yeah, he's walking with some random man. I guess he calls Mr. Austin or something. But clearly this is a potential client.
Yes.
And he says, oh, kind of letting us know like why they're there on a Saturday, right? He's like, oh, well, I can't believe, like, it's so lucky that we saw Darrin's car in the parking lot. He usually doesn't come in on Saturdays, but I want you to meet him. Like, he's wonderful. Like,
he tells him like he's so committed and that's why he's working overtime. And
he's what he says, like, he's like so not pure, but like dignified, and he's like all these things, right?
Because the client is making some point about how that he wants a lot of dignity to he wants to bring a lot of dignity to his brand. And so that's why Larry is like, oh, well, we have the most dignified exec for you to be on this project. Let's meet him. Because
Larry's Larry, and he's of course always going to talk it up, right? Because he wants the account and he wants the money, even if it wasn't true, right? And so then we cut back to Darrin's office, and then like they're still trying to do the clean the stuff off of them, and all of a sudden like she like kind of grabs him.
He says something about like, I'd like to be your father for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is to mean to reprimand her for being a bad girl. But it's like but it's, I don't know, as a modern viewer it just reads a little differently. Like, I feel like if we rewrote this scene for modern times, the language would be completely different.
Well, we know what both of these writers were into.
We do, actually. Yes. And he's like going, he's like, we're leaving, and they like stumble on the way out. I don't know if she pushes him or like he falls.
I think she pushes him. So the couch is up against that wall, like opposite of his desk, right?
Yeah.
And she just says, she's like, oh my goodness, oh watch out, and literally like pushes him onto the couch, and she's on top of him. And then that of course is right when Larry and that random man walk in, and they're like, and Darrin was like, they look up, and she's on top of him, and I love how her leg is like, is like, it's so cute. The way it's positioned, and but they look, like freeze frame, like, ooh, we got caught kind of thing is what it looks like, right? And so Darrin is immediately like, hey Larry, like, how's it going kind of thing. And Larry is, I love, this is like one of my favorite Larry things ever, but he immediately is like, oh, hi, Mr. Johnson, have you seen Darrin around anywhere? So good.
It's so good.
Again, like maybe not even preservation of Darrin and his character, but like of
the company.
We got this guy right here and we need his money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't really care if you're cheating on Samantha, but we can't lose this potential client.
Yes.
Right. So I think it was like maybe a little bit of both.
Because the client, when they walk in, is like, I think we're intruding.
Yeah.
And so Larry's like, oh, I got to save this. And he thinks so quickly on his feet.
So
it's
good.
so good.
And so natural.
Yeah.
And he's immediately like, Mr. Johnson, have you seen Darrin? He said, no, I haven't today. Like, Darrin immediately picks up what he's putting down, right? And so he's like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, we'll leave you to it or whatever. Like, it was good to see you, Mr. Johnson. And then he like looks at Mrs. Johnson. It should make it even better, right? Like, they're married.
Yes.
And then they leave. And then she's so annoying. She's like, oh, isn't that cute? He married us.
Yeah. And he's like, we're leaving. We're going out the freight elevator so no one can see us.
He's like, get off me.
Yes. She's like, well, who's going to tell your wife? And he's like, get out. Like he's not having any of it at this point. He is
so mad. Because again, like that could have cost him his job or that account, right? Or his marriage, potentially in a compromising position.
100%.
And so cut back to the house, and Sam and Monster are on the couch, kind of mirroring, Darrin and her from earlier, but they are not touching knee to knee, right? Like they were. They're at an appropriate distance on the couch. And Sam is just kind of talking to him about everything, right? And how kind of about the situation and kind of why maybe a younger woman would be attracted to an older man, because Monster doesn't understand, this infatuation, because we learn that this isn't the first time that she's kind of done this before, like gets infatuated with older men. He's like, why am I not good enough? So Samantha's trying to like kind of explain it to him of what might be attractive about a more mature man, right?
Yeah. She says, maturity has its own fascination. And this entire time, Monster's very much enraptured by Sam. He's looking, he is completely caught up in everything that she's saying.
Even in that hideous frock.
Just goes to show that the right person, it's not the frock that wears them, it's them that wears the frock.
They'll be able to see through such an ugly, hideous dress.
Exactly.
Listening to you explain it, it suddenly comes to me what a child she is, immature and like that.
Well, she's still very young, Monster.
Yes, she is, and I realize that now. And like you say, maturity sure is fascinating.
You're beginning to look hungry again. I think I ought to fix you something to eat.
But yeah, it's clearly we see that, like, in their conversation, that he begins to change a little, and he's like, yeah, like, I totally understand, like, what you mean about, you know, like, maturity is important, and like, I don't even, because she asked, she's like, oh, like, are you, like, how do you feel, or what, and he's like, I don't care about her anymore.
Yeah, I haven't thought about Liza in an hour.
Yeah.
Which is implying that all he's been thinking about is Sam and what she has to say, and her thoughts, and not just her looks.
And she's like, oh no.
yeah. But he says that, and he says, well, thank you for a very fascinating morning. And she goes, I've had quite a fascinating morning myself.
Yeah, I wrote, now Monster is hungry for Sam.
Yes, right? Exactly. Oh, yeah. And so he starts looking. Yes, he has that look in his eye, like maybe he is attracted to her. And she gets up and says, I think you're getting hungry again. And quickly, like, gets up to make him something. Yeah. And that's when Darrin and Liza return.
Yes, and so Monster and Darrin are able to meet.
Yes.
And they're like, what's that smell? And Darrin's just like talking like it's not a big deal, right? He's like, oh, scotch. And then it's like, and that what does he say? He's like, and there's gin on her or something.
Well, yeah, first when they come in, Liza's like, no, Monster, please don't beat him up. Don't hurt him. Like, she's so worried about Monster beating up Darrin. But you kind of get the feeling like maybe she lives for this.
Yes. Yeah, she's like, what are you doing here?
What are you? Stop. No, don't. And then Monster's immediately like, why do you smell like gin, Liza? And then Sam is like explaining what Monster's doing there, and while she's doing that, she smells scotch on Darrin. She's like, that's scotch, sure as I smelled anything. So she's like, Darrin's lying to me, it's not gin, it's scotch. Yeah. And then he's like, well, I have scotch on me and gin on her. And then they're like, why were you drinking?
But he said, we weren't. We got it.
It spilled on.
We weren't, like, our clothes were drinking, basically. And then he like proves this by going,
which
in
he took
both
a
of their
sip.
faces.
He took a sip, so it was like, okay, listen.
Okay.
If it was an entire drink he drank, then maybe his breath would smell like alcohol. So I could see that, but he still took a sip. It just felt a little unnecessary for him to breathe in their faces like that.
All I could think was it probably smelled like cigarettes. Is that bad?
Like the actor?
Yeah.
Dick York, smoking.
Like what his breath would have actually smelled like?
Yeah.
Would have probably just been like cigarettes and coffee.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about what it actually smelled like in real life. I was just like, that's funny. But it is true. Okay, I see the point now. His breath doesn't smell like alcohol. His clothes do. So that's what he was trying to say. Okay,
yes.
I get it.
But yeah, so they finally like, but this whole time, like when they like kind of meet, they're like, him and Darrin are like holding hands. And it's so funny, and Darren's finally like, can I have my hand back? And he's like, oh yeah, of course. But either way, like his hand is so much bigger than Dick York's hand.
It's huge.
So funny.
Yeah. And then he's eventually like, oh yeah, Monster says something about how Sam has like opened his eyes to how fascinating and mature older people can be. Yeah. And Darren's like, Samantha, what? And then Liza tries to like step in and be like, don't let him bother you, Darrin. And like a couple of times tries to like placate Darrin and Darren's emotions, and unnecessarily. And Darrin eventually is just like, everyone out of my house, get out. Yeah. I don't want you here anymore. You're leaving. And then they leave, and it's Sam and Darrin alone. And he's like, oh, quite a catch you got there. He's immediately so jealous.
He's so jealous. Yeah.
Which is insane compared to Samantha this entire episode being very trusting of Darrin during the entire first scene. Like I really appreciated how it could have gotten a lot cattier between Liza and Sam, but it doesn't really. Like Sam is still very much like, you're a child and I could see why you are infatuated with my husband. He's sexy and amazing, but I'm not threatened whatsoever. And the whole time it's very level-headed. And then as soon as Darrin is like, you spent the morning with a young boy, he gets so up in arms about it. It's ridiculous.
It's like, yeah, I fed him 3 solid meals, just telling the truth. And so like between their little tiff and we're cutting back between them and Monster and Liza on the sidewalk, right, walking away, and they're having their own little tiff and everything. And she's like, he took advantage of me, basically saying that he was the reason they went to his office and then he poured them the drinks, that she had nothing to do with it and that she's all innocent and everything. And then, of course, like she's trying to rile him up, right? And get him mad. And he's like, do you promise, like, like if you're lying to me, like you're telling me that he like did this and he took advantage of you? And she's like, yes, And so then we cut back to Sam and Darrin, and they're still having their little tiff.
And he's like, oh, well, yeah, it was touch and go there for a while. And Sam's like, touch what and go where? And she's so funny. And she's like, they talk about like how they're arguing, and he's like, I'm not fighting, you're fighting. It takes 2 to fight. And he's basically saying that I'm not doing anything wrong. And she goes, yeah, 1, you started it. 2, you started it with me. That's 2. And it's so good.
You expect me to believe you were protecting me from Marvin muscle-bound all morning?
Well, I was.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. That big clod wouldn't hurt a flea.
What did you say?
I said he wouldn't hurt a flea.
You said I was ridiculous.
Who said you were ridiculous? Me?
Yes, that's what you said.
Let's not fight about it.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing.
I'm not fighting. This is no fight. You're fighting. It takes 2 to make a fight.
You started it, that's 1, and you started it with me, that's 2.
So funny.
Yeah, and then we get banging on the front door again.
Well, yeah, first Sam was like, you must have given her some encouragement, which he did.
Yeah.
And we just say, like, there were so many boundaries crossed that he never, like, set a boundary there or said something was making him uncomfortable or something was inappropriate, and that is allowing the behavior to continue. Thus it was encouraging the behavior.
Yeah, like, are you trying to tell us that Darrin is really that stupid and like oblivious? Like, I don't know what.
Right? I'm so impassioned by this because I feel like so many people don't get that. That when boundaries are being crossed, if you don't acknowledge that and speak to the inappropriateness of it, you are encouraging it to continue.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, anyway, I have big feelings about this in real life. Anyway. So then there's a knock at the door.
Yeah, it was more of a boom, 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 because, of course, it's Monster. He's back, and he's pissed, right? Because he thinks, like, he believed her, and he thinks that Darrin tried to take advantage of her, like she said. And so he's like, I'm about to break your face, basically. And they're all like, what's going on? And Darrin's basically daring him. He's like, do it. Like, come on, let's go.
He's getting riled up too. He's like, yeah, I will fight you. And then right when Monster goes to like actually give him a punch, Sam puts basically an invisible force field around his body.
Yeah.
So that when Monster goes to punch, it's like he like doesn't quite even touch him. And then
it makes another fun sound effect.
Yes. Can we hear it?
It's like one of those things, like those noisemakers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like one of those.
That was awesome.
And so he's like immediately like, ow, oh my God, like what did you do to my hand? Because again, he plays football and he's like, my hands can't be damaged like this bad, like, ow, you know? And so, and then he tries again in the stomach this time and hurts the other hand. And so then, of course, Liza gets concerned. She's like, oh, no, not your hands. What did you do, Mr. Stevens or whatever? She's like, you hurt
monster.
his hands.
She calls him a monster.
Yeah. And then this is also the first time that that Liza calls monster Marvin. And that's what he realizes. He's like, wait a minute. Like, you've never called me Marvin before. Like, this is so crazy. And she's like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I guess this repaired their little relationship.
And it's so funny because Marvin is just standing there like this. Yeah.
Like a giant puppy.
And his, like, if your hands were hurting, would you really be, was that, the physicality of it was really funny to me.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't it be like a shake off and like a holding of the hands, like close to your body, like wounded? But instead he's just like, they're made of rubber now.
He's a golden retriever boyfriend.
He is.
But yeah, so they basically leave after that.
Well, we're forgetting the fact that Liza smacks Darrin across the face.
She slaps him across the face.
Yeah, she's like, Marvin, your hands. He'll never be able to play football again, you monster. And then she smacks him. And Darrin's surprised that she's able to smack him because he thought he had an invisible force field. But I guess Sam's force field only went to like the danger that is monster. Okay, maybe the force field has conditions. Like maybe no one can hurt you if their reason for hurting you is unjust or uncalled for. Whereas Liza, I think, has good reason to smack Darrin because of the way that he does encourage her throughout the episode. Like, yes, she is on one and crossing boundaries and clearly has her own wrongs in the situation. She's engaged to someone. She shouldn't be cheating on them. She shouldn't be going after someone's husband. Like, she is clearly wrong, but I think Darrin also has some wrongs to answer for in the episode. So I kind of liked that she gives him a smack at the end because I think it gives us a payoff as an audience also of Darrin being all like, hit me to monster and like asking for it at the end. So yeah, I thought that was good writing.
But like, what if Samantha was like, oh, hell no, and just like punched her right in the face? That would have been awesome.
That would have been crazy.
I would have loved to see that too.
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth Montgomery just beating someone's ass.
I want to see her, taking on more like mask roles and duties. Like I want to see her really like not in this like, oh, needlework, like little dainty things. I want to see her really like go for
also,
it.
like it seems like in these past 8 episodes you are trying to understand how this magic works, and you're never going to. So give it up, baby. Give it up.
I'm gonna continue. I am gonna fight for this magic system.
No.
One thing about me, I believe, and I believe the Book of Mormon starts playing.
Yes.
I can't not think about it. That was my favorite thing watching Charmed growing up. Did you ever see Charmed?
No.
Okay, well, it's the greatest Switch show of all time. Just kidding. It's not.
Wow.
I can't say that on a Bewitched deep dive podcast, but Charmed
is
an incredible TV show about 3 witches growing up in the 20th century.
Yes.
And anyways, the magic system in there doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of times, but it is still fun because it's a lot to do with like you can't perform any magic for personal gain or there's a consequence. Like there's a lot of specificity.
There's like broad rules, right?
Yes.
Like there's still some kind of
there's
framework.
some guideline and framework. Yeah.
Kind of like on Sabrina, like there's still like a whatever, they have a witches council, like it's a whole thing. But you're not gonna get any answers or whatever from this show.
Okay.
Especially when you have 2 writers who can't get things consistent. So.
No. I'll continue dreaming about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking on it. I'll think on it. Yeah. And then we cut to them getting ready for bed later.
You're still angry, aren't you?
Well, why would you say that?
All right. You're surrounded. Throw down your magic and come out with your hands up.
I wrote Darrin becomes a mime. Interesting foreplay.
It's interesting foreplay. I think a sense of humor is a good type of foreplay. But
Okay.
yeah, I like that he had some humor at the end of it. Rather than, because they've been at odds, they've been arguing for so much of the season already.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice that they ended the episode on a good note with them being kind of flirty and cute about it and clearly in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we already kind of talked about before we started recording, like I'm glad that we don't really get him complaining, like bitching about her using magic in this episode. So that was nice, because like the conflict was not anything to do with magic, right? It was about adultery. So I thought that was interesting, and I was like, oh, that's a nice change of pace too, like already, right? Like, it's not like he's not like looking at her like, Samantha, you know, like, ooh. Even at the end of, like, can't remember what episode, when she, like the one where she like you know, it's like she's like, stay right there, and she's like hugging him or whatever at the end of the episode. And he still gets onto her for using magic,
Right.
She's like, it was worth it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just to be able to hold him.
Yeah. So it was nice to like maybe see on that side, like, it's, oh, it's nice to see her being herself, and not be reprimanded for it. But other than that, I definitely don't think, because clearly Liza's the villain. Like, she's awful.
Yeah.
I don't think we would write a character like that nowadays, right?
No.
The seductress, the Jezebel.
Yeah.
Because she's not likable whatsoever.
No.
And I'm like, Monster, Marvin, Grogan, get away from her. Like, she's clearly insane. Find you someone better. Because she does not deserve you.
Yeah, the fact that she keeps cheating on him so many times, and it's exhausting to have to follow her around all the time because you don't believe anything she's saying. What kind of a relationship is that? But yeah, I 100% agree. It's nice to have an episode where it's not Sam getting in trouble for using magic, and like we see at the beginning of the episode, she's still using magic. She's getting a little more bold, doing it right next to him.
Yeah. But
that's the new normal now.
Yeah. I don't know. Not one of my favorite episodes. What did you think?
Where does it fall on the other episodes for me?
Should we start giving ratings at the end of each episode?
Oh yeah, because I
That'd
was
be
just
cute.
thinking, like, it's hard to metric it out, but I feel like if we had a rating system, it would be a lot easier to metric.
What should it be? What out of what? Should it just be numbers, or should we do something bewitched-y?
Oh, like what Adam Michael James does, where he's like, son of a gun. Well, oh my stars. I think it should be, I prefer a number system.
Yeah.
And we can give points on like costume and plot and writing and direction.
Are we doing out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would I rate this one? 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, I was going to say 4.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a 4.
I feel like I'm going to be more generous than you because you've seen all of the series, so you have a wider like context for the episodes. So I feel like that'll be a nice dynamic between the two of us.
Let us know what you would rate this episode. David gave it, in our Bewitched history book, he gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, he really liked it.
I have to disagree with you, David. We love you. But I don't know. Just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. I feel like I enjoy episodes that go into the magic world a little bit more and are less about Sam and Darrin's marriage, because I feel like it's so bad already.
Yeah, so let us know what rating you would give this episode, and if y'all want us to keep rating the episodes at the end. I don't know why I just thought about that.
That's what I'm saying, though. Nathan comes up with ideas all the time on how to make this more fun, and it's already so fun.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Yeah, you're incredible. But I don't know about you, but watching all these episodes made me kind of curious as to the creator of the show.
Okay.
and the director of the show and all of the episodes so far, and the husband of the real life Samantha, Elizabeth Montgomery.
What a lucky man.
What a lucky man, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I would do a little deep dive on William Asher. William Bill Asher. He was born August 8th, 1921 in New York City to a stage actress and a film producer. So he was born into a family that was already well established in the arts.
Ah, Nepo baby.
Nepo baby. They moved to LA when he was 3 years old, and he would often accompany his father to work at the studio. So he grew up in studios in Los Angeles. He ended up working in the mailroom at Universal Studios before joining the Army in 1941 at age 20. And, you know, when you think of like the Army during World War II, you probably expect him to have been like stationed abroad or like combat. No. No, he was stationed in Queens for 4 years as a unit photographer. So he was still doing, okay. He was still doing, like, he was still around film, even in the Army.
Now, do we feel like this had something to do with a little bit of privilege? Somebody called somebody.
Yeah, and kept him at home, safe and comfortable, taking pics.
Because, like, what is the odds of that happening?
Yeah, right. And
if it were random.
Yeah, like a young, strapping, able-bodied man, he would be sent abroad, you know? Yeah, it's definitely because he had friends in high places.
So he did not see combat.
He did not see combat. Wow. And after the war, he ended up returning to California in 1948 to film the low-budget film Leather Gloves, and that was kind of his first big project.
Oh, yes, I've heard of pleather gloves, not leather gloves.
Yes, yes, leather gloves, not pleather gloves. real cow. He would then write short story fillers for various programs. And in 1951, he married Danny Sue Nolan, a television actress. So that was his first wife.
That's not Elizabeth Montgomery.
What?
That's not Elizabeth Montgomery.
No, Elizabeth was not his first wife. I know. He had a couple marriages before her, actually. Scandalous. So yeah, so at age 30, he married his first wife.
She was probably like still in like middle. She was probably still a child at this point.
Yeah, she was young in 1951 for sure. Yeah. And then in 1952, so a year into his marriage, Desi Arnaz asked Asher to direct an episode of I Love Lucy. So that was his first big, big, exciting directing gig. And I have my first trivia question for you.
Okay.
By the show's end in 1957, how many of the series' 179 episodes did Asher direct? Was it A, 110, B, 65, or C, 150?
I'm feeling like it will be the least. So I'm going to vote 65. B, final answer.
Okay. That was a good guess. The correct answer is A, 110.
Wow, they must have liked him.
They must have. He directed a majority of the episodes.
Wow.
And of the show's success, Asher commented that although they knew the show was good, they never dreamed it would become so iconic.
Yeah.
He called Lucille Ball one of TV's true pioneers. Asher was considered an early wunderkind of TV land, blazing a path in the new medium. So yeah, he was there when television first started and really took off, and that's part of the reason why he had so many connections and ended up doing so many cool things. In addition to Our Miss Brooks and I Love Lucy, Asher directed episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Nice. The
Dukes of Hazzard. And Gidget. Have you heard of Gidget?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had never heard of Gidget. In 1961, Asher divorced his first wife. They had 2 children together. That same year, him and Frank Sinatra planned John F. Kennedy's inaugural ceremony. And Elizabeth Montgomery was also involved in this. So I assume now they were dating or friends or something. They have not married yet, though. And Asher was good friends with Sinatra. And they would sometimes meet up with friends in what major city via Sinatra's private plane?
Uh-oh.
Was it A, New York City, B, Las Vegas, or C, St. Louis?
May I phone a friend?
Yeah. Who is it?
You.
Okay. Ring, ring.
I'm going to say Las Vegas. Only because
Yeah.
I don't know how private jet capabilities were at the time. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's just like a quick little thing from LA, right? For them to just hop to Las Vegas, especially if they're going to do it, you know, multiple times, right? So...
Yes. Incredible guess. And that is actually correct.
That's like the first one I've gotten correct, like,
Ding,
for
ding,
forever.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes. So Peter Lawford and Sammy Davis Jr. were in this little friend group as well. Oh, yes. And they would fly out after wrapping filming. And they would fly out to Las Vegas, and then they would fly back to LA that night in order to be back in studio by 5 a.m. So it was a lot. It was a lot. Asher and Elizabeth Montgomery married in 1963, just before Bewitched began its run. He directed episodes throughout the series and was only credited as a producer in the last 5 seasons, as we'll see when we get there. This is my last trivia question for you. How many times was Asher Emmy nominated for directing and producing Bewitched? Was it A, 2 times, B, 6 times, or C, 4 times?
6.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Good job, good job, good job. He won for Best Director in 1966. Montgomery and Asher divorced in 1973, a year after Bewitched wrapped, and they had 3 children together. He went on to direct and co-write several beach party films, including Beach Party, Muscle Beach Party, Bikini Beach, Beach Blanket Bingo,
Yes.
How to Stuff a Wild Bikini.
Oh.
Lots of these. And now I have a little quote from the words of Asher himself.
Well, it just reminds me like of a Carol Burnett sketch. I guess it was with Steve Martin, I think, right? But called Beach Blanket Boo Boo. And that one's really fun. But like a parody of all of those type of movies, right?
Yeah, right.
So good.
I was looking through all the titles. I thought it was so funny. So he later recalled of his directorial years. When I look back at my own work, Bewitched stays with me the most, and Lucy, and the Beach Party pictures. The scripts of the Beach Party films were sheer nonsense, but they were fun and positive. When kids see the films now, they can get some idea of what the 60s were like. The whole thing was a dream, of course, but it was a nice dream.
It's better than a nightmare.
Better than a nightmare, that's for darn sure.
Yeah.
He married a 3rd time in 1973 to Joyce Belafonte, another actress. They had no children, but he did end up adopting her son. And Asher retired from Hollywood in 1991 and divorced Joyce in 1993. When he retired, he moved to Palm Desert, California, and lived there the rest of his life. It was while he was there that he met his 4th and final wife, Meredith Coffin. She was a resident of Palm Desert.
Oh.
So he married local.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I would avoid anyone that had the name Coffin.
Too spooky.
Yeah.
Yes, Meredith was by his side until his death in 2012, and he died due to complications of Alzheimer's.
No.
Yes. Very sad, awful disease. I know. I was reading how when he passed away, any donations people wanted to make they just asked that they donate to a local Alzheimer's charity.
Oh, nice.
So I thought that was really beautiful.
Well, thank you for doing that.
You're so welcome. Thank you for listening along.
Of course. And I don't know about you, but I am excited for our next episode.
You are?
I am. Episode 9 is so much fun.
I will say I did, while I was watching, the next episode started playing, so I did get a sneak peek, and I do know that Endor is in this episode, and I'm very excited about that.
Yes. Agnes makes everything better.
Yes, I agree. She brings so much energy to the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to know what she thought about the insanity of this episode, right?
Right.
Like, I would love to have heard her
What
commentary.
would she have done to Liza? Well, thank you for joining us here on So My Wife's a Witch,
A Bewitched Deep Dive podcast.
and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks for episode 9.
Yes. Hope you all are as excited as we are about it. And hopefully your new year is off to a great start.
Heck yeah.
Because mine is, because I get to see your face.
Oh, Nathan. Oh my God, stop. Keep going. All right. Bye now, everybody.
Bye.
So my wife's a witch. Every married man has to make some adjustment.